Hey guys, I'm just here to tell you if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. And let me just explain to you, it's free. There's certain tools that allow you to record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer. How convenient is that? Anchor would distribute your podcast for you, and it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Download the free Anchor app and go to Anchor.fm and get started. Happy Hump Day, everyone. Welcome back to a Daily Dose of Love podcast. I am your host, Tasha Bradley. I'd like to welcome you all back. Thank you all for giving me your time. I truly appreciate it. It's Wine Wednesday. What's in your cup? I hope that you are sipping on some really good wine. Have a sip for me. Cheers, guys. I'd like to give a big up to my international listeners. Thank you all for tuning in. We have listeners in 43 different countries. I'd like for you all to drop your name and what country you're listening from so that I can give you a personal future shout out in an upcoming show. And if you're tuning in for the first time, I'd like to welcome you aboard. My name is Tasha Bradley, and on a Daily Dose of Love, we are encouraging self-love through self-care. So tune in every Wednesday. I know this won't be your last time tuning in, so welcome aboard. I'd also like to give a big shout out to a very, very special supporter of this show, and that is my auntie, Darlene Bradley. She's down in Mississippi, so thank you, auntie, for always supporting me in this podcast. So big shout out to you. Don't call me crying after this show. I appreciate you so much, and I love you. In today's episode, I'd like to discuss lifestyles. Why are we so concerned with folks who are living a lifestyle differently than, what is considered to be the conventional lifestyle, where we're going by old traditions and beliefs? And if someone is living an alternative lifestyle, that's outside of the norm, why are they so criticized? Why are they so mocked? Why can't we just appreciate folks and allow them to live their authentic lives? I go back to my childhood, and I'm so thankful for my family, the Everett side, my mom's side of the family. I'm a kid from the 70s. I grew up in the 70s, and as I look back, I'm so thankful for my family being so loving as they were, because I had an uncle who would be my great uncle, my grandmother's brother, and he was, a gay black man in the 70s or 60s, because he's much older than me. So my uncle left our small town in Florida and moved to Philadelphia, where he was a college professor. He lived his life there in Philadelphia. He would come home, and I always remember him coming home with a friend. The last friend of his that I could recollect was a white gentleman named Robert. Kind of a bit chubby, if I could remember correctly, but he was a nice guy. I never knew that they were, weren't anything other than friends. I could never suspect that my uncle was gay at that time. Being a child in the 70s, I never heard anyone speak of folks being gay or, using slurs or anything negative towards anyone who was gay. I knew one woman who was gay growing up in Seminole, where I'm from. And, I won't say her name here, but we're still good friends. She's older than I am, and still see her on Facebook. But that was the only person I'd ever seen, but that was later. I knew that she was gay, but my uncle, I never knew he was gay. All I knew was when we would have families gatherings, and my great-grandparents would be there, and whatever we were celebrating at the time, once they pulled off, my uncle, when he was in town, which would normally be in the summer or one particular holiday or the other, and he would gather with his sisters, and he'd put on a wig and the shortest shorts, like he must have started the Daisy Dukes movement. And my Uncle Sonny, God bless his soul, and he would tie up his shirt, and I just thought as a kid that he just enjoyed being around his sisters, and the sisters just would let him clown around with them. Not knowing later on, in my teenage years and adult years, I realized and was confirmed from my mother that he was gay, but I never saw him gesture. But I just always take into my my heart at this age of how beautiful that was, that he was able to be free amongst his sisters and his family members without being criticized or ousted. You know, he was welcomed. And although he carried himself in a man's, form of not, cross-dressing or transgender at the time, but I guess, he could have been a closet dresser, because he would dress up. Once my grandparents left, my great-grandparents would take off. He would go in there and, switch from his button-down shirt and nice trousers and shoes and put on the shortest shorts and the shortest top and a wig of his sisters, and they would just party. And I think that's just a beautiful thing, to be accepted. So if someone is living an alternative lifestyle, embrace them, support them. It's enough people in this world that hate themselves, that aren't, feeling accepted, that are depressed, that are suicidal, that have committed suicide. It's all about embracing folks and allowing them to be their true selves, even if it doesn't fit into your way of, the way they should be living a conventional lifestyle. If they're not living what's conventional and what you consider to be the ordinary, they're outside the box. Thank you all for dealing with me with that tight tongue there. But you understand what I'm saying. And I also think we have to normalize, stop asking women who are married, when are they going to have children, when are they going to start family. What if that woman has had miscarriages that she doesn't want to discuss? She could have given birth to a stillborn baby. Maybe she's been told by a doctor that she can't have children. You don't know. Some folks aren't just opening up about everything and aspect about their lives. So we have to just, kick back. Stop asking single folks, men or women, when are they getting married? What if they've chosen that marriage isn't for them? What if they'd like to be in a polygamous marriage setting where they want more than one wife, and hell, maybe the woman wants more than one husband? We have to learn to appreciate folks for where they are and stop making them feel bad about the choices that they're making. Why don't you own a home? Why did you sell your home? Why don't you have a car? Why are you having more kids? If they have a certain amount of children, you want to know why they're having more kids. Are you feeding these kids? Are you responsible for these children? If none of that stuff affects you, why are you so in an uproar about someone else's lifestyle? Not everyone wants to go to college and be college educated. Not everyone wants to own a business. Not everyone wants to travel. There's just differences, and that's okay. We don't have to, stop loving someone and associating with them because they're living a different lifestyle than what you're living. We have to learn to embrace each other. That's why so many people are finding it difficult to love themselves, because they can't freely be themselves and live their lives openly. We have to get better about that. I'm celibate. I'm always asked, why are you celibate? Well, I'm having an amazing life. I'm just not having sex at the moment. If someone wants to, take time out to take care of themselves and they aren't interested in dating and doing the things that you're interested in, just respect that. Allow people to heal, to grow, and to nurture themselves as they wish. As long as they're happy, allow them to be happy, and you should be happy for them. Not everyone is going to live the same lifestyle. Some folks are living alternative lifestyles. Some folks are selling big homes. They're downsizing. They're turning buses into, a homes on wheels, and they're traveling all across the U.S. They're traveling, and wherever they're going to go to these RV parks is where they're going to spend the night. They pay that park fee, and they're just traveling all over the world. They're sleeping under the stars. Not everyone wants to live in a mansion or a 4-bedroom or a modest 2-bedroom apartment, for that matter. We have to just learn to respect folks and all their differences. So everybody doesn't want children. Some people want kids and can't have kids. Other folks want to stop being a lawyer and maybe they want to open up a bakery. Just allow people to make decisions that are best for them. And it's okay. If you're happily married and you are living that conventional lifestyle, kudos to you. But if someone is living a lifestyle outside of what you consider to be conventional and they're living an alternative lifestyle, that's okay as well. So let's just learn to respect each other, to love each other, to support each other. That way everyone's going to feel good about themselves. Their decisions aren't for you to approve. It's for them to live their lives as they see best fit for them. So let's just respect each other, love each other, and look into and see why they're living that lifestyle. Sit down and speak with people and look at things from their perspective, not just from your point of view. All right? All righty. Well, I appreciate you all for tuning in. I thank you. Please join my group on Facebook, Daily Dose of Love. I am your hostess with the mostest, Tasha Bradley. One love.